Well, ladies and gents, welcome back to Ettalong Bowling Club for the Grade 1 Open Pennant State Finals. We're down to the quarterfinal stage with Charlestown taking on Corrimal. We have a look at the bracket for the live streaming. The game's underway at the moment. Grandview's taking on Windang. St John's Park, Port City. Our live stream game, Charlestown, Corrimal. And Beresfield taking on Merimbula. Of course, we'll be live tomorrow morning from 8:45 approximately with the semi-final from the top half of the bracket. And then 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon for the grand final of the Open State Pennant Grade 1. Our team lists for this clash. Our live stream rink for the Tigers, it's Jarrod Bent, Scott Baus, David King and Daniel Hill. They're taking on the Corrimal, Anthony Moran, Greg Laws, Ray Parks and Johnny Green combination. The remaining two rinks, Daniel Colaris, Corey Kameen, Scott Davis and Nathan Dawson. They're taking on Tim Kavanagh, Shane Jones, Mal Lyons and Jarrod Beckford. And the third rink, Shane Soper, Kim Jarks, Eric Ryan and Matt Swan. They'll take on Brad Jones, Tim Christie, Russell Taylor and Eric Johannes. So a couple of pretty strong lineups there, and they've got through. Charlestown finished top of the section despite a loss to Windang to propel them in, and Corrimal had a narrow loss to Grandviews. They finished second in their section to qualify for this quarter-final. Well, we're about to get underway in the quarter-final. Last bowl of the trial end has been rolled. And we will have scores from the other matches scrolling through on your screen. Scoreboard's now up and running. On the mat for this first bowl, Jarrod Bent. Just going to be a little on the shy side for his first bowl. Anthony Moran. His first quarterfinal delivery for Corrimal. Anthony's son Travis, a member of the Warilla Platinum Pennant side, recently won the Australian Open Under-18 boys singles, runner-up in the state junior singles to Timmy Thorning. He's just popped his first bowl a little bit on the short side as well. Jarrod just needs probably 1.5 meters on his opening effort. Try and stamp some authority on this early, just a little bit through the head. Anthony Moran. Has been a region representative as well. Actually represented old Zone 13 at one stage. His first two, the line's pretty good, but just not quite got the send. Scott Baus now on the mat. Weight looks pretty good. It's going to be slightly through. Very good line, actually. 1.5 meters, 2 metre, under 2 metres long. Greg Laws on the mat now for Corrimal. Just interested. I'm not sure if Scotty Baus is related to Matt Baus. Looks like it could be. Just looking to drop 1 3/4 ish off his opening delivery. Just going to crash on Jarrod Bent's opening bowl. Greg Laws wants to reach through Anthony Moran's bowls, but unfortunately that's going to be just cut away. His opening 2, short and narrow. Third to the head. David King on his way back to play. David, was the chairman of Charlestown and was major contributor to the development of their magnificent undercover facility. Had a big hand in designing the scoreboard system at that club. Fantastic setup. Well worth a look if you're in the area. King's going to be just not quite underneath the Scott Baus bowl. Ray Parks on his way back to play his opening bowl. Ray Parks, he'll play his forehand side. Two of his own bowls on the way in there. It's not too bad of an effort, it's just going to run slightly through. David King's second effort. Similar line to his previous, just wants to sneak through the little port there. He's pretty close. Ray Parks just a little bit through with his first and quite tight. There's a fine balance out on that hand. Pretty well pointed here from Ray. And Johnny Green, very happy with that one. Corrimal holding 1. Daniel Hill on his way down on the backhand side, following David King. He's got that little port quite nicely. Very good effort from Daniel. I think he's just snuck through to be second shot. Ray Parks is going to have a look and let Johnny Green know what he thinks the situation is. He's suggesting to John to play the forehand side. Arrive to those holes at the back. Has got the advantage on that hand that Anthony Moran's bowls on the way in. Can sneak around that one. Get it full on is good. Just going to crash on Ray's bowl. No damage. Made it jack high. Still probably one shot to Corrimal. Daniel persisting on that backhand side. Can get a result through that port. Very close. Just going to sit on his first bowl. Consistent. John Green, last bowl of this first end. Just gives a little toe tap. I don't think that means anything, but this looks a little speedy from John. One shot to Corrimal. Anthony Moran, it'll get us underway on this second end. Corrimal leading 1-0 on two of the rinks. No score up on the board on the middle rink. They may have had a dead end. I'm not really sure watching this one only. And Mav, Anthony Moran, a little bit wayward with his opening delivery. It's a good 3 metres short. Metre and so wide. Jarrod Bent though. Great start from him. In behind the jack. Correction here required from Anthony. Yeah, good change. Draws in for shot. It's not going to be the end winner, but it's good position. Jarrod Bent lose only a metre or so. And I think he's just repeated the dose. Going to sit next to his opening effort. Greg Laws now on the mat for Corrimal. Backhand draw. Just taking the open path. Anthony Moran's bowl short on that side would just look a bit in the eye. Greg Laws is going to be, he's quite a way through. Scott Baus. I think everyone's going to take that backhand side with the Anthony Moran bowl. Just looking like it'd be in the draw line on the right-hander's forehand side. A little under the line from Scott. Can hold a bit longer, but it's just going to run away. So Anthony Moran holding one shot at this stage. Greg Laws probably wants two and a bit metres off his opening effort. Good grass line. I think that'll just cut under a little. Well, it's really going to take off at the end. Might have dried out a little bit over the lunch break. Seems to be just taking that bit more grass now. Scott Baus He's outside that line. Very good effort from Scott Baus. We were hoping DJ Dilworth would join us in commentary, but apparently he's just too upset about the loss in the games. He's going to join me for a little while.
You've
DJ.
got 5 minutes, Andrew. How are you, mate?
All right, so who's your tip here, Charlestown and Corrimal?
It's going to be a tight game, mate. I like to put a bit of pressure on Daniel Hill and say, being one of the new Platinum teams in, they've got to be heavy favourites. But I think, mate, how well have Edlong done again?
It's a great venue.
That is a great.
Four greens is sensational.
Yeah, they all played well. So,
and they all look very consistent.
Yeah.
I've mainly concentrated on rink 7, of course.
Yeah, you haven't got to move too much, but we got to play on the top green there, and then the one in the corner, then the one outside the greenkeeper shed there. I mean, you can't fault them. Pace and everything's good. Every little green's got its own little idiosyncrasies and stuff, but Edlong put on a good show, mate, so well done to them.
And everybody's been fed and watered adequately?
Absolutely, man. The volunteers around the place, they've got an army. It's just picking up all the stuff around. They haven't left any mess. Mate, they do a great event. Well done to Edlong. But as for this game, I think Charlestown will edge it, mate. I think this will be a cracking game for you on the live stream with Daniel Hill up against Johnny Green. Also against Beckford and Matty Swan against Eric Johannes. Plenty of experience out there for Corrimal, isn't there?
There is. I'll tell you what, I think this green has actually picked up a little bit of pace over the lunch break. The players seem to be taking just a bit more grass.
Yep.
Or should be taking a bit more grass. There's a lot of bowls cut ahead. So I just think a little bit of pace is gained. And Ray's Parks need a bit of weight on this because it's a very tight line.
Holding well, isn't it?
Just crack that bowl.
He's got it.
He's got the jack.
It's a stand in bounds.
It is.
Just about. Nice attacking game to start with. Well, I'm going to go and sulk in a corner, Andrew. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
You're going to go and...
I'll see if I come back later, I might join you again, but now I'm very upset with how we perform, but I'm going to go have a sulk.
I'm just really looking forward to the next edition of the Waterload Bowls podcast, because I think Simon's just building up a whole arsenal of ammunition, and I think he owes you a heap.
He's very much in debt against me, isn't he? But yeah, that'll be good, folks. So yeah, tune in for that one. That'll be episode 50, mate. We'll be raising the bat for that one, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Episode 50. Well, no, a lot of people said you wouldn't get to 50, but
a lot of people said we wouldn't get to 5. But no, there's been a lot of positive comments around the podcast, mate. It's been good. We've done some good player interviews in there, and it's always good to hear you support the team because you get a bit of a sledge on there every now and again too.
Well, I keep saying I don't always agree with what you guys say, but I agree with your reasoning to be able to present your opinion as your opinion.
No, we're passionate about the sport, man. We want to see what's best for it all. We've got a bit of experience playing at the top level and administering at the top level. We have our opinions and we like to share it. So,
well, thanks, DJ.
Not a problem, man. I'll speak to you soon.
Bad luck for today, for the last couple of games.
I wish it was bad luck, unfortunately, mate, but just bad bowling, but it is what it is.
Sometimes it's just not your day, though, is it?
No, unfortunately, it was this weekend, mate, but we'll be back. We'll have another crack next year.
Well, Hilly's got a nice draw to the boundary line here, so we'll see how he goes. Thanks,
right.
DJ.
No worries,
Catch you later. I might give DJ a bit of a sledge, but we get along okay. I've said to DJ, I love you too, a couple of times. Johnny Green on the mat. Holding a couple of shots here. David King's red and blue bowl is the closest, Charlestown. John Green's drawn a shot with his first, and Ray Parks' bowl is in there. Oh, Johnny doesn't want to touch this jack. Well, he has touched it, and it has stayed in apparently. Well, I could just see Johnny trailing that jack out of bounds then, but no damage done. Holding 3. Daniel Hill, forehand shot now. He wants to get underneath and through those bowls. And this one would get a salute if he's got it, but well, the opening effort's short and just going to fade out. That one I think will be out of bounds. Yep. 3 shots to Corrimal. They're on the bottom, so 3 there. 4-0 after 2 ends. Middle rink has now registered a score. It's 2-0 or 0-2. It's still 1-0 to Charlestown actually on the end rink. It's around the other way. I'll fix that as soon as another score goes on. It is 1-0-1 is not the right score on the bottom one. It should be 1-0. Anthony Moran will get us underway for the third end. So 1-1 on the third rink is the correct score now. Well, Anthony Moran is opening one better than his opening on the previous end. Still a little bit short, but in decent position. We'll have progress scores from each of the other grades going through. And if you're looking for the full results, there are links on our YouTube bio, which will take you to the Bowls Link results portal, the public portal. The links in our YouTube bio, entries into the rookies, singles and pairs. We'll close soon for the singles. And for the over 40s pairs and mixed pairs. Okay, so Corrimal got a decent start here. They're up 7-1. Greg Laws on the mat. He coupled down here. Jarrod Bent's had a good start. Pretty well pointed from Greg. Just not quite got the speed. So chance for Scott Baus to triple down on the value for Charlestown. Down 7-1. Not many ends played, so no panic stations yet. They would be keen, though, just to get that scoreboard ticking in their favour, not let it get too far out of hand. Scotty Baus, just a little runny. He's going to collect the edge. Well, he's not going to even do that. It's just going to pass by. Once again, just cutting the head a little bit. Do you think this green has just got a little wider in the last hour or so since we finished the previous game? Greg Laws, he's going to zoom across as well. Be close for shot. Do fancy the one behind the jack, Jarrod Bent still. And Scott Baus try to add to that. A little toucher here is probably not going to hurt them too much. They want it straight down the line though, not sideways. It looks much better speed here from Scott. That'll zoom in nicely. They've been turning quite a bit. That will almost be shot. I think if it falls, it will be definite. You saw John Green just sort of wave towards a forehand draw. It could be a couple down. That last bowl from Scott Baus, pretty close to Jack High. Ray Parks, a very experienced campaigner. I believe he would have a previous Grade 1 state pennant win as a member of Charlestown a number of years ago. It's not too badly pointed from Ray. I think the speed's just going to get him though. It's just going to go around and into the two Jarrod Bent bowls, so good home. David King. He's going to try it backhand. What he wants to do is just get inside that wing bowl. Greg Laws. It's just gone a little too far. Oh, can Ray just lose 2 feet or so of weight on this, and he's played it pretty well. John's got the plates of meat out and banging them together, and why not? That's a brilliant toucher. David King going for having shot, now chasing a result against the front toucher. It's a slightly wide line. Might be just the speed's going to let him down. Yeah, the line is actually really good. It's just that bit quick. Comes back near the centre line. Johnny Green analysing. John Green has represented New South Wales and the New South Wales senior squad. Daniel Hill, of course, was recently a Keno New South Wales Blue. Nathan Dawson, former New South Wales representative. Jarrod Beckford, Illawarra's own 16 representative when Illawarra won the competition. Matt Swan has a state junior championship or 2 under his belt, and Eric Janis, of course, former South African international. So plenty of credentials on the line for the back end players in these clashes. Daniel Hill, tough job to get shot. Jack's hidden away. A little bit of traffic in the way. This green is turning quite nicely, so he has got the opportunity to get round that front. Wants to come down to the shot bowl. Oh, it's a good effort. Just not quite got the speed. John's first one finished around 2 metres behind. I dare say he wouldn't have minded to finish at the back, matching the back bowls. Wouldn't mind just plopping in off that side bowl. Well, he's just drawn it. Very well played. Probably a couple down. Don't know if there is a little port at the front. Daniel Hill may elect just to go pretty quick at this and go for some chaos. It's a fairly narrow port at the front, but there is a path through. Would have to be pretty precise to navigate it. Well, he's not going to go at full speed, he's just going to try and arrive. I know he is, but it's not going to come back from there. Two removed. Ray Park's going to have to get down and measure. 2 shots to Corrimal. Similar length again, rolled by Anthony Moran for Corrimal. And good start from Anthony as well. Jarrod Bent going to play the other side of the green from Anthony, and that's also very well played. Anthony Moran asking a question. I think the answer probably should be plop another one in there, mate. We want to fill this head up. Good crowd along the edge of this green. Quite a few of the players who have been competing, a few locals, probably a few Charlestown supporters, a bit of red and black around. Anthony, well, that's another good bowl. It's 3 in a row. Good bowls from the leads. Are we going to get a 4th now? Jarrod Bent on a good line. Oh, another great bowl. 4 in a row. Great start to this end from the leads. Jarrod Bent's got the shot. It's good position there. So our volunteers at each of the venues, they're putting the results, scores anyway, progress scores into our system. They'll be appearing on the bottom of the screen there with their grade, all quarterfinal scores. Greg Laws, this looks on a fairly tight line. One cut across almost 1.5 meters. Scott Baus just going to be behind the pack. Not a hell of a lot in this one. Ray Parks. He's going to play the backhand. If you're just looking to arrive to this head, just a little contact here. Nudge that jack across towards his own bowls. He's got the grass line to nudge it across, but not quite the speed or not quite the combination. David King, we look to get another one in there. Ray Parks about to deliver. Got the side camera pointed at that front head so you can see where the jack is. David King just going to be a slightly high line but nudges. That's Greg Law's bowl in. So that's 1 to Corrimal at this stage at least. I think it is just the one. The bowl behind Jarrod Bent's would be second shot. John Green, backhand draw. Be just looking to just arrive and flop in off Jarrod Bent's bowls. Quite a safe line from John. They're urging it across. Might be handy enough if the jack gets bumped, might spill out that way. Daniel Hill down again, just needs to arrive. He's got the line for it. His mates are interested. He's just tickled that jack back. Well, that's a fantastic effort from Daniel Hill, and we'll watch that one again. Rips it in. Very well directed from Daniel Hill. On its way in, it's going to just arrive to this jack. Wants a toucher. Back to his own, and there it is. Brilliant bowl. Decision time here for John Green. And looking at how to give this a hit and get a result. And a big welcome to anyone who has just joined us. You are watching the Grade 1 Open Pennant State Finals Series. It is the quarter-final coming to you live from Meadowlong Bowling Club. We have the winner of Section 2, Charlestown Tigers, up against second in Section 1, Corrimal Cougars. Johnny Green's just missed the run. Well, I think he's 3 down. Chance for Daniel Hill to get back into this contest. Keep an eye on the other boards. Corrimal got the better of the start. Mostly on the back of the 6-0 lead on this rink. And Daniel Hill's just not going to quite get back enough to count. 3 shots will be the result. We'll just confirm that with the score up on the board. Yes, they've done it. It's 3-6. And a change in length straight up from Charlestown. Shorter length being prevailed by Corrimal. Charlestown, Matt's a couple of metres up and the Jack's at the tee, so fairly healthy change in length. Anthony Moran. Try and beat Jarrod Bent. Jarrod, just over a metre or so short. Anthony on a good line. And he's also got a little bit of the shorts. Jarrod Bent gets that one away. Wants a little bit on his previous. He's going to come in behind. Be right back near the ditch. Does stay up. Moran on his path in. Oh, he'll be inside the one at the back, still a metre and a half or so through. Scott Baus. Plenty of room to draw here. It's been a glorious morning. It's just come over a little bit overcast. The sky's fairly grey, non-threatening though. Wind has eased off. It was just a gentle breeze this morning. It's just a more gentle breeze now. Greg Laws. He'll play the backhand. Still got plenty of room. Scott Baus fairly close to Anthony Moran's back bowl. Not sure whether it's the back or the front one that counts at the moment, but that is the shot from Greg Laws. And just off a toucher. Not too badly down here from Scott Baus. Decent correction from his opening bowl. Just hits the edge. Greg Laws on his way down. Well, rookies singles qualifying. Enter now. Qualifying on the 9th and 10th of August. Straight after that, entries closes. Qualifying is played. The rookies pairs. Qualifying entries will close. Gives you a chance to team up with another member on that. Your teams don't have to be from the same club. David King. Just gets a little edge, still one shot to Corrimal. Ray Parks doesn't want too big of a hit. 1 in, 1 out. Gives them better position. And saw David King would love to play a similar bowl that Ray Parks just played. Just poke that white with red speckle bowl through the hole and stay at the jack. Well, that bowl is short enough that it's not going to really make a difference, and I think there is a chance here for Ray Parks to play very similar again. Get the outside bowl, stay. Just come down and get a toucher back to their own is okay. There is a little danger there, which can make it a lot better with a half-decent bowl. Yeah, it gets the edge of his own, rolls it over behind the jack. Very well played. But Brandon Wilmette jumping in again. Welcome back, Brandon.
Nice to have me back. Thank you, Andrew.
Corrimal's got the better of the start. Charlestown just fighting their way back into contention. Daniel Hill comes to the mat, 2 down. Ray Parks has just played a pretty good bowl, turning his own behind the jack and sit in front. He's been in a bit of trouble a few times.
Going big.
Just going to be under the line. Johnny Green will make his way back to the mat to play his bowl. It's not going to worry John if the last rink finished. And that's actually good for me because I like to live stream with the last rink finished.
Yeah.
Then there's no question we have to change cameras over.
Yeah, correct.
That's the only reason. Well, John looking for the backhand. I'd say what he wants to do, just get around that short blue bowl, just ease in, but unless he's trying to play a blocker, that's shocker. Sorry, Johnny. That one's, you've forgotten to send it. Better put a stamp on the next one.
Daniel going big again.
Well, he's got the same bowl.
Yeah, same gap.
Not the gap he was after. Jarrod Beckford picked up a 3 on the adjacent rink to now lead 6-4 after 5. 4 ends completed on the third rink across. Just can't see the score there. Eric Ryan standing between me and the scoreboard. Probably just so I'd mentioned his name. I do get along with Eric pretty well. I think he's one of the players who enjoys to not be on the live stream ring.
Yeah, there's some players that stay clear of it, isn't there?
Eric Johannes has picked up 4 on that far ring. 2 to Corrimal here. Anthony Moran will roll a jack again. We'll go back to fairly short length, and that hasn't made the line. Daniel Hill might just consider. No, that's not going to be calling an umpire to measure that. It is long enough.
No, it's long enough. They've broke away on the big board a little bit.
Well, 21-8 after 14 ends. It's not tragic for Charlestown. That sort of length, you've still got basically 50 ends to go, 49.
Still plenty of time.
So there's not panic stations, but it is a case where you think, well, yeah, we just need to claw that back. 13 shots behind. You probably want to bring that below 10 before you get the 20 ends played.
And just that knockout now is probably adds that just a little bit more pressure to those kind of scoreboards starting to tick over.
You've gone from a situation where a lot of these teams have gone into the last round knowing that they're going to qualify. It's just a matter of whether it's first or second. And so that is not that pressure to produce the big bowl. You're playing for the position, yes, and there is a bit of a, we want to go in with momentum, but there's no finality to a bad result.
You get that second chance.
There is no second chance now. You lose. Your Mad Monday starts this afternoon.
Correct.
Greg Laws now on the mat. Just to play the forehand. Anthony Moran holding, I'd say it's 2.
Yeah.
I'd say the second one should not count when this end is completed.
Yeah.
So Scotty Baus, couple down, possibly 3, but say Corrimal's got 1 and Daylight's second. Is probably a better assessment at this level.
Yeah, you'd expect one closer by the end.
Scott's got a beautiful line, just hasn't quite got the speed. I did notice a lot of bowls cutting the head in the first few ends, and significantly. I was thinking that this green might have just picked up a little bit of pace over the lunch break, and that the width might have also changed as the winds dropped significantly.
Yeah, it looks that from just the couple of bowls here since the morning game. Definitely got a little bit more turn.
And the players are playing good weight or good grasp, not quite both at the same time at the moment. Been a couple of really good ends, but that's going to get the little rub and come in. Sometimes a little bit of love's all you need. That's one shot. Well, is that the little stroke of good fortune that Charlestown needs just to try and lift back and fight back to close that gap?
Yeah, it can take one little thing and the whole momentum shifts in a game.
Another 3 to Corrimal on the end rink. It's 10-1 over there. Eric Johannes leading over Matt Swan. Ray Parks, a good line again. Oh, Ray is putting in a vintage performance. He's played some very good bowls already. And I have been on the end of a Ray Parks demonstration match.
I say not on the good end.
No. No, Ray played against us in a Grade 2 grand final, or finals match a few years ago. Quite a few years ago. And skipped against us and walked on water. He had the golden touch that day. Everything we did was terrible, and everything he did was genius. He played it so well. Again, it's just a little bit long, but how good are the two positions he's finished in? The skipper can't complain there. Might be down on the head, but might be a couple down actually. David King looks pretty well pointed again.
Definitely there.
Well, that's actually very good. It's turned over the Charlestown bowl and just made it in a better position. Before that bowl, John Green had the chance to play his backhand side with a little bit of confidence nice little shelf to run along and just drag that jack back to even say the G on the Headalong, or the B, sorry, on the Headalong Bowling Club logo.
Yep.
Drag it back down there and hold, well, 3. But that bowl has now rolled back, means he needs a lot more delicate weight to get it the right distance. Still playing that aggressive line, just a tad wide. Not too bad at home. A lot of people don't realise you can deliberately play narrow onto a bowl to take your speed off.
Yes, you can.
So that opportunity's there for John to play onto the shot bowls. Gets a nice big half of the blue and white Scott Baus bowl. It would straighten him towards the jack, take his speed off, and then just push him towards his own 2. Ideally, you get the jack.
It just widens up that target you can aim at. You can go a bit narrower and sit those bowls and use them.
Yeah. Did love it one day. Someone said, "Oh, you're lucky when you get those narrow bowls and the run on." Yeah, really lucky.
Yeah, they're there to be used.
Just got to bend back, and he's
Here it comes.
bending back too much. He took the pace off it.
Yeah.
Another 2 feet of pace, I reckon he just about got shot bowls. But Daniel Hill trying to draw a 3rd. Very tough opportunity to draw a 3rd here.
Yeah, staying away from it.
2 to Corrimal. No, to Charlestown, the other C.
Well, the middle rig, Corrimal must have picked up a 3 as well.
Well, actually, I'm trying to work out what Johnny's done there. He's put 1 on his own score. That's better. It was actually just the 1. And Jarrod Bent on the mat now. (10-1), still a score on Eric Johannes and Matt Swan.
The middle rink between Nathan Jarrod's now 4-9 to Corrimal.
Jarrod Beckford must have just picked up another 3. They'll be on 6 ends.
Yep.
You can see that one from your side. All I can see is a big head.
More people standing in the way.
Well, it's a pretty wild start from our leads. Or from one of them, Jarrod Bent. Now the bowls we can see from the adjacent rink. Just off to the right-hand side of screen under the scoreboards. Yep. Jarrod needs to add. Unfortunately, he's very consistent.
Yeah.
Normally consistency is a key, but not when you're plonking them 3 metres short. So far, I think Anthony Moran's just had the better of the lead battle. They've had a couple of absolute ding-dongs of ends. One end, not long ago, they put 4 bowls down that were all within the old foot mark. Fantastic end.
That's the kind of bowls you come to expect at this level.
Yeah, this end's not the ones we come to watch. Anthony Moran's holding 2. Second one of those is well over a metre past the jack. Scott Baus. Looks pretty well pointed. Just the speed's going to let him down. Gets the clip. I think without that little clip, he probably would have been having a little dip at the beach. Greg Laws, backhand draw. It is the open side. It's got a fairly tight line here, but it's holding on.
That held a long way.
Gets the touch. Well, he was only just out to the red line, so I wasn't expecting it to hold to the jack, but it did.
Definitely looks like it's picked up a little bit of pace since this morning, as you said.
May have been just a hint of moisture in the air. No, there was a light sprinkle of rain last night.
Yeah, there hasn't been much down here yet.
I know that because when I got out of the car to go inside, grabbing some dinner, it was 9:30ish. Give or take 20 minutes. Windscreen wipers went on, and I just thought, oh, don't get wet.
Yeah, I think we've been pretty lucky so far with the weather. Been great conditions for bowls.
So may have just been a hint of moisture in the green this morning. Moisture's dried out. So your typical gloomy winter's day, though, now. It was glorious this morning.
This morning the sun was shining brightly, but yeah.
It was just a little zephyr this morning, a little breeze.
Yeah.
Today, this afternoon, well, the flags aren't hanging limp, but they're just stirring on the flagstaff, but only just.
And all the spectators out there are basically getting rugged up in jackets. So
David King, great line, just a little short. Still 1 to Charlestown at the moment. The blue and white bowl, Scott Baus, sitting there in front of the toucher. You can see a little chalk mark on Greg Law's bowl just behind the tee. Corrimal's got all 4 bowls behind the jack. There is one right back near the rink number that's probably off your screen. Maybe not. Maybe that's just the blue bowl we can see. Ray Parks, though, I think that one's going for a dip. Yep.
Yep.
Let's have a little play in the sand, that one. Maybe aware that Corrimal had all 4 behind and was trying to trail. It's probably a very good shot on the backhand. You got enough turn to be able to come back towards the shot bowl.
No, you're sitting that shot bowl, or you trail the jack. You.
Still 1 down only for Corrimal, and that shot's still available. Rip that jack back towards the ditch. You'll be holding a multiple. Well, that's 2, 3. Depends on where the jack goes. But, Ray Parks is not going to do it with that. I don't think it was even enough weight to get to the jack. Just a bit tentative. See what the only thing lacking here compared to some other venues is homemade cream horns that we get occasionally from the best pastry chef in Australia, I think, Carmen. Got those at Figgy, arrived a couple of times, absolutely delectable. Nothing lacking here at Edelong, fantastic. All of our venues have done a great job, and we do extend a big thanks to our event partners for the Open Pennant State Finals series across all 7 grades. First mention to BCIB, Bowling Club Insurance Brokers, long-time supporters of bowls in New South Wales. Do thank the team at BCIB for their ongoing and greatly valued support. Of course, a big shout-out of thanks to Edelong Bowling Club, the board and staff, particularly JR and Brandon in the bowls office, and the army of volunteers who are doing plenty of things to make it a great experience for the players. Big thanks also to Bomaderry and Nowra, hosts of Grade 2. Yamba, big shout to Jason Pinnock, bowls manager there on his birthday, working away. Happy birthday, Jason. Grade 4, Wagga Rules and Wagga RSL. Grade 5, Cabramatta Mount Lewis. Grade 6, Charlestown and Lambton. Charlestown having to work without Daniel Hill, of course, who's here playing.
Yep.
And grade 7, of course, North Haven and Lake Cattai. Johnny Green. First one's just a little shy, a little more attacking now. Oh, that's a gift of a straighten. And I think he's got a result out of it. Just put the hand up and said, oh, sorry. I think it's pushed it onto Greg Law's bowl, but we're going to have a look.
If that jack got past there, it could have been
Decent count.
Yeah.
Daniel Hill's bowl at the back, though, might have just mitigated it. It is a measure. Got the little calipers out. Well, it's close. Might need to get our umpire all out. There we are. We're getting the umpire. We'll remove the others. I'd expect the umpire to bring out a small caliper. Nice medium-sized chunky one. And some chocks.
Yeah.
The rubber wedges go underneath the bowl that's not on its flat surface, so to speak. The bowl on the running surface, I'd expect you to just put a couple of wedges around that. 2, maybe 3 even.
I think he's going to get a smaller caliper.
Yeah, I think the caliper he had might be just a little too big. Further shot to Corrimal on the middle rink. And then rink 9. Where's the best place to stand on the bank?
No, stand in front of the scoreboard.
It's out to 13-1.
Yeah.
After 7 ends, so it's a 2-1. It's a very healthy 31-9 lead after 20 ends. Corrimal leading Charlestown.
Yeah, they've created quite a bit of a gap. They've kept their momentum from the early ends going at the minute.
Of course, anybody wanting to know where Corrimal is, of course, in the Illawarra. It's one of the suburbs of, well, one of the, call it a suburb or a town in Wollongong City Council. As you're coming northwards, you go Wollongong North, Wollongong, Fairy Meadow, Corrimal, Taroji, Fairy Meadow, Taroji, Corrimal, Bellambi, Woonona, Bulli, Thurul on the train line.
Right.
And it's one shot to Charlestown.
Charlestown.
The other C.
The other quarterfinals around the place are nice and looking nice and tight out there. Grandview's 20 over Wingdang 17 after 21. Port City leading St John's Park 22-15 on 20. And I can't quite see the Merimbula Beresfield board.
It would be on the edge of the green facing away from us.
Yep.
The scores will be scrolling through on our secondary scoreboard. Updated by our volunteers across all venues. So get your entries in for the rookie singles. They close very, very soon. Qualifying on the 9th and 10th of August. Of course, that qualifying is just before the entries close for the rookies pairs qualifying, which is being played 27th and 28th of September. State final series November in, of course, at Roman Terrace. Also open with qualifying on the 2nd and 3rd of August is the state over 40s pairs qualifying. That final series will be held at Yamba in weekend in December, first weekend. Great place for a weekend away playing bowls in December. Very pleasant. And mixed pairs qualifying. That qualifying on the 1st and 2nd of November. Entries now open. And the state finals for that series July next year as part of the state championship final series at Dubbo in July.
All such great events to get involved in.
We've had record entries in most events over the last few years. And mixed pairs certainly increasing in popularity. All the pairs events there are the three bowl pairs events that we play at state level. You will play 3 rounds in the first day. Sectional play. Rookies been popular for a long time. A special shout out to Mick Bell, who pioneered the rookies concept out of Bondi Bowling Club.
Yes.
Mick practically begged the then Royal New South Wales Bowling Association to take over the format.
I think it's a great concept.
We were, well, somewhat reluctantly was agreed to. And just develop the competition. It's slightly unusual. We play a 17-up singles format. And the whole idea is that you can get more games in a day. Get out and have a crack.
As for those newer bowlers who hadn't been bowling for no more than 30 months, is it?
30 months at the final series. Basically, this year, 25, starting for the 25-6 season, you need to have started bowling after the 1st of April 2023.
Yeah. So it's good. It's good. It's a good competition for those newer players out there. And
you're only allowed 2 cracks.
Yeah.
2 seasons worth. So if you played the singles last year and the pairs the year before, sorry, you've had your 2 years worth. But all aimed at just those newcomers who just want to have a competition among themselves. I tell you what, some of them are astoundingly good.
Oh, they are.
I do remember in the early years we talked to some of the rookies players and we said, well, how much do you practice? And they, I really try to get down 7 days a week and have a practice for a couple of hours, but I only make it for 6. So, fantastic event. Ray Parks on the mat now for Corrimal. Jarrod Bent's got 2 there nearby. Ray Parks, well, he's been very good to now, but that's not one of his better ones. The blue bowl in there would be Greg Laws holding 1. David King, he'll play his forehand down to that. I'd say he'd be trying to just arrive to the shot bowl. Just going to hold its line a little too long. Right round.
Right round and more.
Want for a little dip in the beach. Ray Parks needs a significant correction.
Looks a lot better.
Well, looks a bit energetic, wheeling it in. Wants that bowl right in the guts, let's say. Pushed it through. I don't think Daniel Hill will be too upset with where that one's finished.
No, it's probably ended up in a good home.
It's come back onto the centre line. Anthony Moran's got the best back and decent position just in to the back on the right of screen. I think it's 1 to Corrimal at this point with the blue bowl. Although angles here can be very deceptive. Daniel Hill, forehand. Plenty of traffic on that backhand side, just in the way. Wants that bowl clean. He's got it through. Stops and stays. Great bowl, Daniel Hill.
Great shot. Sat the bowl perfectly.
Corrimal in a good position at the moment. Green. Well, he's looking to return the favour here.
Playing with some weight.
I think he's on a little on the narrow side. Just going to get a double flick and run through.
Push that other one of red bowl into a good position, actually. If he's going to play with that kind of weight again.
Well, 32-11 now. 23 ends gone, so we're just past a third of the match. Daniel's just a bit wide, but I'd say he's very happy to get that best backwood. Would have been 2 down had that jack been pumped right back to the ditch, so don't think that was anything other than deliberate to get best back.
Yeah, good spot, especially John's last bowl playing that way.
He's going again. Well, he's under the line again. What's he going to do, though? He wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. It is 1 to Charlestown. 8 ends played now on our feature rink.
Another quarter final that we couldn't see the scoreboard of. Merimbula lead 23-22 over Beresfield.
Oh, nice and close.
So, some close games out there.
And that's a couple of metres up from the... Oh, it's probably 3.5 metres up from the tee. It's not a real long end that we've rolled. Jarrod bent a couple of metres through. Very hard to tell the exact distance on these angles with the cameras.
It is.
That's why you probably hear me say 1 metre or 2 metres or roughly or...
Oh, it's a hard judge. Like what you see on the camera is very different to what you can see out on the green in front of you.
Well, the other thing is our cameras are about 2 metres behind the edge of the green.
Yeah.
Just out of the way of the players. Does mean we can see the jack on the green for everything but about the last 30 centimetres, 20 centimetres or so under the ditch wall. Anthony Moran's a reasonable start with that. Jarrod's a bit of correction, but still a long. Anthony lose a foot and a half. So it doesn't look like it's anywhere near as wide as it was before, so I just wonder if a little bit of temperature drop has just taken the turn away a little.
Yeah, it looks like it's just
tightened up a bit.
Yeah.
10 to 3. Nice and overcast.
And that cooler weather's out there.
Typical dull winter's day. the sort of one where you'd like to curl up with hot chocolate
Yep.
or a other suitable beverage. Tea or a coffee or
Nice bowl there.
something a bit more exotic.
Yeah.
Log fire.
Many a choices.
Or the footy on the telly.
Yeah, football's on, yes.
Or the bowls on the big screen.
Correct.
So if you are enjoying watching the bowls on the Bowls New South Wales YouTube channel, you can also subscribe, give us a like, and choose to get notifications. You'll know when we get live again, which we will do tomorrow morning around about 8:45, give or take a minute or two depending on our organisation. But 8:45 we should be live again with the semi-final, because we're scheduled to go live for a final at 1 p.m. as well.
Yep.
Then you get a nearly 2-week break
2 weeks.
from us. Yeah, we'll be back 2 weeks from today, coming to you live from West Dubbo, Club Dubbo,
Oh, yes, for the juniors.
for the Junior Inter-Region 7-a-side.
Be nice and cold out there.
It'll be fresh. Get to see the renovations done at Club Dubbo. Been done recently. They've expanded the Ilandra Road into the club. Done a big renovation there. Moved the bowls office.
Oh, right.
It should be very interesting. Oh, Greg Laws hasn't sent this one either. A couple of short bowls this end. Just making things a little complicated. Good to see 16 sides here and not every region represented. Those regions that didn't have a qualifier, the space that region should have occupied in 16 was reallocated and offered to the next best performed side in a region with the highest percentage of clubs entered in that grade. Happens across all grades.
Nah, it's good
So
to have
that's why
16.
there is an extra side available from a couple of regions here. And they were the regions where the greatest number of percentage. So if you had 10 clubs and you got 7 of them in the grade, that's 70%. And somebody else had 8 out of 50, there's only 16%. I think around 30% is the highest. But they were offered the second place. They all gleefully accepted.
Yeah, well, it's an opportunity to come play state pennant finals, isn't it?
And the reason why we try to guarantee that there's 16 is the overwhelming feedback from clubs participating and from our feedback that we get from all of the events was that there was a huge preference to have 16 sides and no buys as much as possible. And the question was asked, would you rather have buys or regions have 2 sides? And the overwhelming feedback was regions to have 2 sides than have a buy. So
Yeah,
that was implemented.
I think it's a good idea. 16's a nice number. 4 sections of 4, and yeah, eliminates the buys.
Ray Parks. He's one down. He's got second and third, possibly fourth. Well, second, third, and fourth, yes. Can play a little reaching shot here on the backhand. Looking to just find the port, take the place of the bowl with the white patch looking at us, which is, of course, Scott Baus's bowl. The other half of that bowl's blue. Gets very confusing You can have one bowl that looks completely white and one bowl completely blue sitting next to each other, and they're the same set. You do need to be aware of that when you're calling the games. It's caught me out more than once.
Well, from a distance, you wouldn't realise that there is another colour on that bowl.
I didn't realise Jarrod Bent's bowls were half grey until about third end. I only saw the black bit. You do see I have got a little cheat sheet in front of me with each player's name, what colour bowls they have.
Makes life easier.
Try to make things easy. Daniel Hill. I don't think he's got the speed on this one. It's fair to say he's not having an outstanding game at this stage. He's building. He'll need to really lift his game in the near future, though. That's starting to just slip away from him a bit. And Eric Johannes is turning it on the third rink. He's now up 17-1 after 9 ends. Jarrod Beckford leads 11-5 after 9 over Nathan Dawson. Hilly's actually the closest at 8-6 down after 8. So Corrimal, they're doing a job at the moment.
It's always interesting how teams respond with one rink out by a margin.
Some people might be asking what brand of bowls people are using. Oh, I can't tell you what type of bowls they're using unless...
He's got a result.
He's got that perfectly.
Yeah.
Johnny Green's just got the little chop and run. I'll watch that one again. Punches it up through the head. Was looking for the cannon. Gets the feather, gets the red one. It just rocks.
Yeah.
Doesn't really even move. Just pops that one out of the head.
It makes 3.
That's a huge result. And in the context of this game, it could be a bit of a battery flattener. It's one of those ones where you just start thinking, well, what have we got to do?
Yeah.
He's even getting the feathers, and then the bowl rocks. It stays there. Lovely as. Ours goes cannoning out. None of theirs move.
Yeah. And especially with a rink like the third rink out here being at 17-1 with Eric's rink, it can be definitely a flattening.
The good thing for Charlestown is we're not even halfway through this game yet. They might be facing a bit of a deficit, but only takes 2 or 3 ends and all of a sudden the momentum switches and you just charge home. Seen plenty of times sides up by big numbers and get run down.
Can easily happen. A couple of numbers, you get shots across all 3 of your rinks, that scoreboard starts to tick in your favour.
I'm just wondering if there's a score not gone on a board. The managers have the master board slightly different from ours. They say 12:37 after 27. But we're at 9, 9 and 8, so I don't know whether they're just predicting what's going to happen here.
You got something different?
Well, they've got 1 end extra that's not on the rink boards, and we are going to stick with the rink boards.
Oh, he's made more.
Well, he's turned that one in.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Could be 5 or 6.
Yeah. I don't know if that was what he was looking to do, but 5,
6,
and they're measuring
6 and a measure. That is a massive result.
Wow. We're just talking about match-defining moments, and that could definitely be a heartbreaker.
checking for 7. Beats that one. Does it beat the one at the back? It is. 7 shots.
Wow.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of a sudden, Johnny Green jumps out to a big lead, and wow. We have a look at that last bowl.
Yeah, have a look at it again.
He's run into the head, gone clunk, rolled it up.
Turned the jack and...
Well, I don't know if that was deliberate.
No. Definitely playing with weight. But, yeah. 7.
That is huge.
Yeah. And another one on Eric's rink, going Corrimal's way.
Be up to an 18-1 lead. Well, go back to our instant replays and pop those two out.
So just looking round at the other quarterfinals out there at the moment, Port City leads St John's Park 30-18 on 26. Grandview's lead Wingdang 29-21 on 29. And the Rimble and Beresfield are just obstructed at the moment.
And then there's I don't know what he's trying to do, but he's hit it with Rob Jack and made 7. So it might be a little bit of luck, that might be good management, don't know, but there it is. There we go.
So Anthony Moran's lead bowls again all over it.
Well, he's still the second best bowler in the family. I'll put Travis ahead of him at this stage.
Yeah, Travis is going great.
All right, so Scotty Baus, backhand draw. It's now 44 to 12. Well, it's 45 to 12 according to the big board. They might know something I don't.
Someone might have not turned over an end somewhere.
Well, definitely 44 on this. 18-1, 5, 11 on 9.
Yeah.
And no. I'm going to stick with what's on our boards. We have what's on the scoreboards on each rink. And our board adds them up for us, mostly. Except when I press the wrong buttons. Scott Baus. His first effort was not too bad. Just finished jack high. Wants to get in there again a little closer this time. Well, he's just tightened that up a little bit. And it's just going to fade across. The weight is sensational. He's just a fraction wide and then a fraction narrow. So Anthony Moran holding 2. I think Greg Laws has actually got in there for the third shot as well.
Yeah.
Corrimal had a great season in the Illawarra competition. They did suffer a bit of a loss in the major semi-final. Went down to Windang, but then roared home in the grand final. Ray Parks, he'll be looking to add to this count now. Just backed off. There's a little movement on the adjacent rink. Jarrod Beckford's just followed his bowl down. Just moved around close to the boundary peg, so Ray just stepped back. On the other side of the green anyway, so shouldn't have been an issue.
Shouldn't have been.
But better off to make sure that you're settled and mentally correct at the time of delivery. She's just going to be at the back of the rink on the outside. Just got a little discussion with my mate. We'll find out what's going on.
Another one just going in behind there again.
Just found out I exported them and they went to the hard drive instead of the portable drive. Just a little blip. I can fix that pretty quickly. Just go browse. Still Illawarra, Corrimal holding 2, maybe 3. Daniel Hill, well, pressure again.
Yeah.
There's a couple more scores to go on. Now up to the halfway stage, according to the big board. It's 5-12 in the middle, so another score single to Jarrod. And that's it.
Good ball coming in here too. Yeah.
Johnny's got a little touch on that. Another tough ask for Daniel.
And Corrimal's got the best back as well, so it makes it a bit difficult.
Corrimal's actually got the best 3 at the back.
Yes.
So Daniel can't really attack this with any vigour. He does get a little piece of it. He can pop it back 2 feet. He's okay. But doesn't want to move it well, he's got to move it 2 feet, but not 4.
Yeah.
So tough ask. Has to be precise. Johnny Green.
In the area again.
Tiny touch is not going to hurt him, but he's
stop.
Just a little bit tentative. Probably didn't want to do any damage.
Yeah.
Daniel Hill, he's got to just arrive to this, and he needs to play it. He needs enough contact to move it 2 feet, but not 2 inches. Just a little bit on the chunk off the side. It'll be 2, maybe even 3.
Yeah.
We're having a look. Got to put the tape on for the others. Maybe I'm giving them too many. Might only be going for the second one. Greg Law's bowl might be just out. Now measure Anthony Moran's bowl. Go across to the Scott Baus. No, it's just the one. One more shot to Johnny Green. 10 hands played. He's out to a 15-6 lead. It's 12-5 to Corrimal on the middle rink, and
it's just another one, I think.
It's Corrimal placing the mat at the other end.
That's just another one. So I think it's 19-1.
Just wait until they put that on the board because they've been caught out too many times. And Corrimal, they're following the formula because I didn't have to move that camera at all, either end.
Yes.
That means we're pretty much centred exactly where things were last time in this direction. Anthony Moran will start us off again. A little bit scratchy for the first few ends, but pretty solid since then. And scratchy again for his first bowl this time. Commentary curse. Sorry, Mav. Jarrod Bent. Well, from the scoreboard, though, it's pretty obvious that Corrimal have been getting the best, and yes, it was just one more to Eric Johannes, but he marches out to a 19-1 lead after 14 ends.
That's a big lead at the halfway mark.
It is very solid. You're 35 shots in front, you triple, or you quadruple your opponent's score halfway through, and then your lead pops pretty much a front resting toucher on.
You're sitting pretty happy.
Oh. Jarrod Bent's bowl, not too bad a position just in behind there. Greg Laws is going to run across the face. Not too bad at home. Scott Baus, what do I do? And he says, get a shot. Just declares the hand. Grandviews were here last year for the number ones finals. Didn't get past the group stage. I've got a feeling the last time Grandviews got past the group stage in Grade 1 Pennants would have been the state finals at Nelson Bay, where they were defeated in the final by Warilla.
Now, currently they're in front at the moment in that quarter-final match over Wingdang, 32-24. That one just not coming back enough.
Still
Maringula and Beresfield look like they're about 31 all by just counting the scoreboards over there.
Yeah, so 2016 Grandviews runner-up in Grade 1 state pennants to Warilla. It was a fairly strong win in the final for Warilla, 60-35. Do you remember that game? Well, the Warilla bowlers played absolutely out of their skins. Grandviews had a slightly different personnel roster then too. It was one of the umpteen pennant finals where Michael Harvey got a runner-up badge. It was part of the Belrose's 4 runners-up in a row.
Oh. You don't often get to a state Grade 1 pennant final.
Cam Curtis was the bowls coordinator at Grandviews at that stage. Well, with hooves, if you get there, you lose it. Does look like there's two red bowls next to the jack, but one of those is half blue. It's David King's opening effort. You saw from his reaction there, the arm went up. He knew he'd missed his line with what he wanted to do. Johnny Green will have first use of the mat here for the Skippers on end 11 of our feature rink. Dare say he might just look for a little bit of protection here rather than trying to attack that jack. They've got a decent lead. You don't want to give an opportunity to get a multiple, so just try and get another one in there. Stay off David King's bowl.
He's done that.
Oh, he's nearly, I think he's just fallen out. It has made it a bit more difficult for Daniel Hill. But he can play just under David King's bowl. He wants to reach, wants to get hold of the shot bowl. He's given that a little kick. It might have been just enough to get shot.
Yeah.
Jarrod Bent's bowl at the back.
They're looking at it.
Oh, he's saying if you want to get rid of it, might be a way to go. Only got one bullet left in the armoury. Pretty close to it.
He is. Yeah.
He's got enough.
Gets Corrimal holding one.
David King having a look at this. Well, Daniel Hill can actually afford to play a little bit of reach to that. Get the inside of that bowl and just roll it through. Better still, if you get David King's bowl, nice big chunk, it should spit onto Mavs and Anthony Moran's bowl and just roll forward. If you've got not silly weight, just, metre or two, you should hang around anyway. Just get enough of a roll of that. Jack comes back, you can make 3 or 4. So Daniel Hill, he's got that attacking sort of weight, and his teammates are interested.
It's close to it.
And he's got the big chunk on Johnny Green's bowl and just flopped over. And it is one more to Corrimal. Just not quite on the right target there. So it's another one in this march of shots for Corrimal.
Well, Charlestown's got the mat on the end rink.
Do they remember what to do with it?
They've doubled their score. They're on 2.
They're up to 2.
And 13-7 in the middle rink.
Off 12, yes.
Off 12.
That's a 2 and a 1.
So 49-15 after 35 ends. Corrimal sitting
very comfortably.
Yeah.
Anthony Moran. Well, it's another pretty good starter. The lead puts your first bowl down like that every end. You're going to be pretty happy because he's giving you a bowl in the head.
Left that one a bit short.
just realised that I have visited every club represented here in the Grade 1 State Pennant Finals.
Yes.
I've visited every single one. I've played a bowl at quite a few of them. I haven't actually put a bowl down at Charlestown or Marimbula or Grandviews, but the other 5 I've been at and played at. Oh, no, I don't think I've actually put a bowl down at Beresfield, so half of them.
Not too bad.
Played 1996 Grade 3 State Pennant Finals at Port City.
Oh, yeah?
Had a couple of games at St John's Park. Nothing too flash. Certainly played plenty of games at Windang and Corrimal.
Yes, you're local too.
Yes. Been to Grandviews for an over 40 state pairs finals, plus the last interzone before COVID struck us down.
Yep.
Been to Charlestown for inter-region, senior inter-region. Been to Beresfield for a meeting or two.
Marimbula you would have been at for the...
Junior State Championships.
Yep. Earlier this year.
Yes. Wonderful venue. In fact, all wonderful venues.
Definitely.
Windang. Got mixed memories there. Had a couple of good wins and a couple of horrible losses. Anyway, back to the action. Scott Baus looking to draw. Wants this just to hoop in. And it's played it pretty well. It's pretty close to the shot. I think that speed has just dropped off a little bit. I think when we first started, that would have come back all the way.
Yeah, I think it's got cooler out there, overcast conditions.
There's certainly only 1 or 2 hardy spectators that haven't got the jumper on at the moment.
There's quite a few of them out there too.
See, one of the Corrimal players, Dad's has the very big, thick flannel jacket on. That's Jarrod Beckford's dad, Glenn. All right, so we love bringing you these events, and we love bringing them to you on the Bowls New South Wales YouTube channel. Don't forget you can like and subscribe, and you can choose to get notifications about when we go live as well. Also, you can follow us on our other socials, like Facebook, and if you follow us on Facebook, you'll see every now and then a few hot shots go on, little excerpts, a few of the replay videos go on. Do know we've just put up Johnny Green's 7, so if you're one of Johnny Green's fans, jump on your Facebook on another device. Keep watching us.
Yes.
Check it out, or do it after the game. Check out Johnny Green's conversion for a 7, and give him all the love that you can in the comments.
Yeah.
Or call him the luckiest goit in the world. I don't mind either way. Be nice, though. We do have a fairly strict policy that we're not going to put up with any nastiness. All in good fun.
Correct.
We're here to have a good time. But our comm staff do a great job in that sort of stuff. Keep an eye on our YouTube channel too. You'll see some highlights come on. Little highlights packages gleaned from our replays.
Yes.
Kira does a great job in doing those.
Yeah, yesterday's highlight package was good.
I think that might have come from me jokingly saying I could go live and just run all the excerpts out for the replays, and it'd be a great show.
Yeah.
I think somebody might have went, that's not a bad idea, let's do it.
Why not?
plenty of content going on there. We love to try and keep you entertained. It's all about engaging with your bowlers. If you've got serious suggestions about what you'd like to see, get in touch with us. Send us a message through Facebook or email one of our contacts. Don't bar me up the street and tell me about it, because I'll forget. Well, he's just run through a bit. I think Ray Parks is holding the shot there. The white ball in behind. Either that or it's Scott Baus's. A bit hard to tell sometimes. Honest John is going to be a fraction quick again. Ray Parks urged that to go in. I want a set of bowls with ears on them.
Yes.
They still won't listen though.
No, I don't think they will.
Oh, he's got the edge. Has he fallen in? I don't think from that reaction he's got enough love to get in.
No.
But it is one to Corrimal. One of the other Corrimal, the C team, Charlestown. I think I've just got used to saying shot to Corrimal.
Yeah, well, they've had a good run of it for the last few ends.
Got to say, the volunteers here, they're looking after us absolutely spectacularly, making sure that we've managed to get a bite to eat for lunch, because sometimes lunchtime's a bit of a busy period between games. You're helping get cards ready, get streams set up, and a couple of times I've got to start the next game and thought, I'm a bit hungry, and thought, well, I haven't eaten anything since 5 o'clock.
Yep, definitely.
Anyway, Charlestown rolled the jack for end number 13. Lucky for some.
Unlucky for others.
Oh, I think it's not a real thing.
No.
Not a bad start from Jarrod Bent. Just trying to find the other camera. Had to move it. That's an odd one. So, Anthony Moran about to deliver. He's got to change his length now, so maybe that change in length is just what Charlestown need to spark a revival. It's going to have to be a pretty good one.
Have to be very good.
Jarrod Beckford's picked up one more shot. He's out to a 14-7 lead after 13 ends. And it's another one to Eric Johannes as well. He's out to 20 shots to 2 after 13. And it's 51-16 after 38. I never want to declare someone a winner, but boy, oh boy, I'd be close to saying it's there.
Yeah, it's...
Very strict rule. If you're in the commentary position, you never say someone has got it in the bag, because you are the kiss of death if you do that.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Well, we said they couldn't possibly lose a game once. 11 in front with 2 to go. Dropped 2 sixes.
Oh. Yeah, commentator's curse. It does exist.
So the closest you can go, well, it's mathematically possible the others can still win. A mathematically possible code for no chance. But you haven't said it. That's not a bad second bowl from Anthony Moran. Gets second shot. Close to Jack High. Nice and close. See the call there from, well, I'd say it's David King up at the head. Daniel Hill didn't do that call. Draw on the backhand. You just want to try and turn that jack backwards. At the moment, it's sitting there very proudly, waiting for a trail. Actually, it was Scott Baus up there calling the head.
Yeah, it's in the open a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not a bad... Oh, it's not Scott, because Scott just delivered that bowl. So it was David King. I'm getting the Tigers mixed up. But good thing for Corrimal here, they've got a nice shot to be able to try and sit the shot bowl. Anthony Moran's bowl just to the left, perfect to pop the jack out to.
Doesn't look too far away from it either.
Just going to get the edge and run down. I'm pretty happy with that spot too, from Johnny Green, and from his applause, I think he liked it.
Oh yeah, good spot behind the jack, and a good spot to pick up.
So Scott Baus wants to get another one close, and the other thing is Anthony Moran's bowl, probably about 2 metres behind to the left, is also in a good trail position if you play that reaching shot. So good setup for Corrimal, but a little touch here can just turn that around. They have to play it, that's the thing. And they've been pretty good at it so far. Johnny Green, he'd be loving having a big win on the live stream.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a showman, he'd have to admit that. Likes being out there. Or at least he pretends to pretty well. But nicely pointed from Greg Laws. He's just going to go around again. Another good home. Another round of applause from Johnny Green. Certainly, John's got that reputation of being one of those who is a good team man, builds them up. And when he was in the Keno New South Wales Blues, was known as the team motivator as well, the one who talked it up and really got the boys going and revved up. And that was the same feedback from when he was at Tarrant Point.
Those kind of people are good to have in your side.
John was part of Tarrant Point's magical little run where they won a number of number one pennants in a row. I think it might have been 3. And I'm sure that if Chrissy Green is watching in Victoria, he'll jump in and tell me how many exactly they won in a row and just about every bowl that he played in it. Hello, Greenie, if you're watching. Ray Parks coming down to the mat. Parks here. He will play his backhand and he will be positive. He's the sort of bowler who loves these sorts of bowls. Just up. Confident draw. Turn onto that shot. Sit it through. And Scott Baus's bowl sitting back to the left. Very good position. And I built Parksy up, but he's a little bit tight here. He's going to just clunk onto Mav's bowl. Has he fallen in? Well,
it's close.
Don't think it changes the idea here, though, for David King. Backhand draw. You're probably being slightly overplayed, but not much. You just want to get onto Ray Parks's inside of it. Just dribble that jack back to Jarrod Bent's bowl, cover it up. A bit like this.
Yep.
Bang, bang. Excellent. Absolutely perfect. Well, that does tilt this end back to Charlestown's favour. A good position all wiped out now by that chunk of the jack. Ray Parks will switch over, and this looks like he's just opening the shoulders up to go whoosh, and he does. Little bunny hop as he let it go. Didn't quite get it away smoothly, and it's gone underneath the line. Johnny Green, he's under pressure now. He's down.
He is. He hasn't been down for a while.
Can he handle that change in circumstance? And Daniel Hill, I'm holding shot. What do I do? Well, middle rink, one further shot to Jarrod Beckford. He's now up 15-7 after 14 ends. (20-2) after 13 down the end, so 52-16 is the current state of the board, and that's what our managers have got. And we've got 24 ends left to play. So we're 36 the difference with 24 to play. That's the old magic 1.5 shots per end. Yeah. That's Junior David Ellis's run rate theory. Once it's above 1.5 an end, you're in serious trouble.
It makes it difficult.
Yep. Daniel Hill, I think that's a pretty good bowl. He's just turned David King's over. I think they all three count. Could even be more now. Johnny Green. Well, was that a point to say smack it?
Oh, I think it is.
think the decision is I can draw within a foot and still be 3 down, or I can give this an almighty whack. But you got to hit it to do it. Johnny's got one more bullet left.
Wasn't too far under. So
Daniel's got one more effort, and so has John. Don't think you need to cover the back. Do you consider dropping one on the centre line 2 feet short, 4 feet short? I think I'd just close both eyes, draw a shot, and hope not to muck it up.
yeah, well, at this stage they need shots. They need shots. Add another one in, and then hope. I think.
Well, you want to just not broaden the target. You're holding a couple. Hilly, forehand draw, just get down to your own bowl. Probably don't want to move the jack, and you don't want to fatten it. So you want to try and count, sit with your other one. Has he got the runs? No, but it's not going to make Johnny Green's job any easier. Perfect grass. I think if I'm John now, I say, you know what, we've got a good lead. I'll just switch over to that forehand side. I'll try and draw the absoluter. But if I flop inside of Daniels and cut him back to 1, I'm happy. I've done the job. We're 36 in front on the big board. They need multiples.
Yeah. I think exactly
one's half a shot they haven't got. They've got to get a 2 one end.
Correct.
You're actually increasing what they need.
Just some movement next door.
And that's the thing. Once it's up at 1.5, if you don't get 2, you're actually increasing what you need per end every time you score.
Yeah, it makes it even more difficult.
John, this looks a bit speedy, but if he gets a chunk off Daniel's bowl and pushes it out, oh, well, has he got it rid of it, or has it still counting? Be at least one. What was the signal? I didn't quite catch it. I think it was only 1.
Yeah.
I'll put it on the board for us, though. They go to 9. Was 2.
Was 2. $20-6 now between Matthew Swan and Eric Johannes.
Off 13 or for 14?
14.
So that's a 4 to Matt Swan. Haven't seen Matt play for a few years, but I do know he was one of those bowlers who would look for the conversion. So fairly handy in a carnival situation where you're going for big runs, you know, trying to build that margin, trying to get 3 or 4 wins in a day and, you know, plus 40, plus 50 sort of thing. He played those.
Yeah.
Did sometimes give him a bit vulnerable to dropping numbers as well.
Yeah, well, that's the risk you play, isn't it?
But he has been playing with the fellas like Nathan Dawson and Daniel Hill. Might have just changed his game in the last couple of years as well. So, but Matt did win a couple of state junior 4s on the back of being able to play those conversion shots. Uh, 52-22 is our display score at the moment. It's now 8:15 on the middle rink. 8:15. I've just bumped it twice. Dull. So I need to take one end off. Silly fingers. Game 2 ends is 15. And ends played is 42. Anthony Moran, his opening bowl, he's missed, but he's missed long, so that's probably not a bad thing. Got to correct back. Done it fairly well. He's come back. Don't know if he's got shots, not much in it. Jarrod Bent, though, 2 bowls short. Probably not the best start. Might have been holding one before that. Problem is now any touch of that jack's pushing it backwards away from his bowls.
Especially when you need numbers.
You need runs. You can't afford, and you cannot afford to give your opponents the leg up. When you put 3 or 4 short bowls in an end, you are giving your opponents the leg up. I think Johnny just said the front one is shot, but plenty of room there. Greg Laws, come on, draw me a shot, was the instruction from John. Backhand down. I don't know how Charlestown recover here.
Yeah, 20 ends left on the board, big board. 21 ends.
And they've got to score 30, basically.
Yeah.
30 more than Corrimal do.
Correct. So it's a difficult assignment.
So we're 2/3 of the way through the game. 42 gone. 21 to go. 52-23, 29 the difference.
It looks like Port City down on green 1's really broken away from St John's Park.
42, 24 and 38, yeah. Well, Port City, they've got a few pretty handy sort of bowlers in there. Greg Keft skipping one of the ranks. He's been around a while. Jake Waterhouse has grown in stature since he's been up there.
The Marimbula and Beresfield school facing the other direction to us.
Don't forget you've got Phil Baker up there. Phil was a member of Harbour's side when they won the New South Wales Premier League back in the older days.
So they've got a handy side.
Yeah, then. You're in the quarterfinal of the Grade 1 Pennants. I think you're all handy sides.
Definitely.
It just depends on who can produce the goods on the day. Look here, I did not expect Charlestown to be behind. Certainly not by as many as they are. 29 shots the difference.
Yeah, Corrimal really jumped out of the blocks, haven't they? And haven't really stopped.
The good news is they've just got it under 1.5 an end.
Yeah, that's positive.
So they have clawed back the deficit effectively. But to be honest, they're probably going to need to win 2 or 3 consecutive ends on all 3 rinks.
Yeah.
To be in the hunt.
And a couple of big numbers.
They are holding on this rink now. Scott Baus's bowl.
Looking pretty good, this one.
It's Ray Parks to be second shots, 1 down now. They were possibly 3 down there before. Jarrod, of course, Bent's bowl definitely was shot with the live view about the window. Should use it more often when they're at this end.
Yeah.
Just used to watching screens.
But 1 down at the moment in time, under the current circumstances, ain't a bad result.
David King playing his backhand. Just needs to make sure that he doesn't contact Ray Parks' bowl. Don't think he will with that line. That's his teammate's bowl. He's rolled up. Hasn't come into the count. Possibly made it a little bit more challenging for Corrimal. They've got to go round those bowls.
Still only 1.
Yeah, I don't think they can afford to attack there. But Johnny Green, sensible bowl here, saying, well, you just give it a chance, get it out wide. There's Jack Hyde. Try and just get inside my toe. Building the head, just getting another one in there, cutting down the opportunity. He's got a little bit of speed. If he gets his own, he's got it onto the jack. It's just flopped out. They could still be 1 down, but might have made him just a bit stronger position. Well, they're not giving anything away, are they?
No, they aren't. They aren't giving anything away.
Not even an indication of who's got shot.
Yep.
No.
They're just looking at it and
Just looking, going, oh, yeah, that was interesting. No celebrations. No, oh, yeah, oh, well done. No, None of that.
Nah. Just looking at it and discussing shots and...
Well, Daniel Hill's looking at how to try and convert here, so I think they possibly won down. There's no easy path in.
There isn't there?
Probably on the live view it looks like there's a forehand draw in, but that's gets it in your trail there. There's 3 Corrimal bowls in the catching paddock.
Yes.
So it looks like he's lining up on that hand anyway. No, he's going to go inside out. A couple of his own on that way in. He can also get down to the Corrimal bowls for some protection. And that's probably helped a lot. I'd say he was actually looking at that more than... Well, Ray Parks has sort of half indicated they're holding one.
Yeah, they're still not giving a lot away with it.
Before that bowl come in, I would have said be an aggressive draw shot to try and flop in and trail the jack towards your own. Now, not quite so much of a... So we're a little bit further in than the grade 7 matches up at North Haven. They're 20 odd ends into the match.
Yeah, right.
I just got the grade 7 update from the quarter final for the mighty Siddos, 7s.
They in front?
They are just in front. More interest at the moment was how many ends they played, just to gauge that around the state. Of course, if you're looking for those matchups, great bowl. Got rid of the Corrimal bowl out of the head. Be holding a few now.
Yeah.
Johnny Green got a job to do.
Probably.
You see there the indication from David King. Get through that gap, get rid of it. Daniel Hill lines up, runs at it, and
Gets it perfectly.
Plots it perfectly straight through the hole.
Probably, 3? Maybe 4?
Yeah, look like could quite even be that 3 or 4 yet. 3 for sure. Johnny Green, forehand draw, last bullet of this end. Just needs to get around that front bowl. Ray Parks is urging it on. So is John Green, but to no avail. That one stopped short, so might have cut one out. I think it's 2. Definitely 2, because that's how many they put on the board. Well, a couple of ends in a row for Charlestown. Is it a fight back? They're still significantly behind, and only made it worse is the fact that Eric Janus has picked up 3. So the 2 they've picked up has been more than counted by Eric's collection. 55-25. I've got one end less than the managers have, so I think there's another one to go on the middle rink. 15-9 after 16. Yep, there is.
Yep.
So it's 55-26. It's 29 the difference now with 18 left to play. And the 1.5 per end is back into play. There,
it is.
27 would be 1.5. That's 29. opening bowls are finished in behind. We'll expand out our view so you can see them. And that's a pretty good effort from Moran with his first. Good news, though, for Jarrod Bent is his first bowl is back. It is behind. Cannot afford to waste any from now on. So that one's in also back behind. They're in the catching area. I think I'd be tempted now if I was Johnny Green to say to Anthony Moran, yep, put 2 feet, 3 feet on your last. Let's just cut them out of that ability to score. But I don't think he's done that. Anthony's going to draw another.
Yeah.
And Johnny's just wandering back down to the head end. I think he might have had a little comfort stop or gone for a beverage. He's drawn a shot. A little bit short with that second one. Not too bad, though. It's how short is wasted? Well, that one's not. It's only not even a foot in front. Scott Baus, backhand draw. It's going to be in behind as well, so they've got the message. Don't waste them. Make sure you're here. Might be a couple down. Well, Johnny Green's got him playing the forehand. Around our own, if you hit him, it's okay. Forehand draw, but he has said, make sure you're going to be behind. I just wondered whether they would have played the backhand and not risked trailing the jack. I suppose either hand you got that risk if you're tight.
Yeah. Well, that one isn't going to...
Well, that's the one that is wasted. Jack. Well, it's not never going to end up there, but I haven't seen a jack bounce forward in this entire series this weekend, so odds are that one's not in an effective area. Now, Scott Baus needs this to run. Not going to get there. Still 2 to Corrimal. I'm going to keep Greg Laws on that forehand side. See Ray Parks doing the calling at the moment. He wanted him to be wider than that. Wants this to run. I'm going to pull up just a fraction short. Might be some minor nuisance value there on that backhand side to Charlestown. I just wonder whether Charlestown bite the bullet now and try and put this jack in the ditch.
They've got the best 3 back.
You might be tempted to go with a solid weight on the forehand, trying to guts that jack straight through to the rink number. Probably going to take out one of your own. You're a fraction wide, you get that last bowl onto the 2 shots. You can still play the backhand, though, with confident weight to try and draw through that gap and maybe not lose your bowl if you miss. That's probably the more sensible approach at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's the one he's gone with, is the backhand. Out just past that red line, so the line should be fair. Edge. Oh. Well, the rub's going against him as well. To be fair, that was probably a bit heavier than he was after. Has gone through to the ditch. I'm not sure he wanted ditch weight. Hard to judge, though. We can't hear the calls.
Correct. It's opened up that hand now. That bowl's now totally out of the way if they're looking down there.
Ray Parks on the mat. He has switched to the backhand, which I think is probably a sensible move now that bowl's been moved. You want to just drift inside that one there. He might want something to use as brakes, and he hasn't. Well, it gives the thigh a little slap there as he turns around. Not what he wanted. He just wanted to make sure he was up, and the brain has said, you've got to be there, push.
Yep. Easily can happen. This one isn't going to be effective.
Just going underneath. Ray Parks, he wasted no time getting on the mat then. Just wants to take to 6 feet off his last. And still having a little run.
Yeah.
Head shakes. And calling himself a bit silly there. He wasted a couple. It plays into Charlestown's hands. They are 2 down though. Cannot afford to drop any more shots really, let alone multiples.
Yeah. Well, the board's out to 32 shots. Out there.
Yeah.
So,
it is becoming a rather daunting task. Must be some more scores on the other rinks. Yep, there is another score on Eric's. It's 15-9 after 16 and 25 after 16, Eric Johannes. So they're just pushing further and further ahead. Have I not got everything on? 17-11, no. 9-15 and 6-25. There might be a score not on the board. $46, no. They add up there.
John Green's bowl here.
It'll count.
It will.
Chunk off Mavs, sit in. I don't know if he's overly excited by that. He'd be happy to get a shot, but he knows he's just sent that invitation to Daniel Hill. Have a crack, and Hilly's not happy with that either. He's got the flick off the short one, but no love on it. Daniel's out of bullets now as well, so
they got 3.
And, almost at the point that someone to say stop the bleeding. Oh, John's got plenty of weight on this.
Oh,
He's going to sail through.
bit risky
3
there.
shots. It was definitely a misfire, I'd say, from John. But 3 shots. That's certainly making it difficult for them. Fifteen ends 11-20. That's exactly what our board matches the rink scoreboard. 25-6 on 16 on the end, and 16 played in the middle. 15 shots to 9. 26 and 60 and 47. So the managers have 2 extra ends than us. Moran, sorry about that one. I've been trying to add up and had to take my shoes off, so I missed pushing the button.
Another good start by him.
Anthony Moran, he's played pretty solidly today. I'll give him a pass mark, grudgingly. Dare say we might have an early handshake in this match. Not required to play all ends in post-sectional play, the knockout. If it gets to the point where someone wants to wave the white flag, throw the towel in, stop the bleeding, whatever euphemism you want to use, that is acceptable. Don't want to do it too early, of course. But been a fantastic performance by Corrimal to this point. Charlestown, well, they've won an end on the middle rink. We'll get another score update in just a moment. In fact, I can get it for you now. It's 10 shots to 16. It was a single. And you'll see why I can get that for you. The middle camera points across at that scoreboard. Greg Laws, they're holding 2. He's just looking to add to the pain for Charlestown. They were highly fancied and getting absolutely walloped by Corrimal.
Yeah. A few people around were picking Charlestown.
Well, I think it's just one of those little blips. Give it another day and it'll be a lot closer between the teams, and Charlestown may even win. But today, it's Charlestown not firing, and Corrimal, well, they're just taking every post and making it a winner.
Yeah.
Greg Laws, how about this one?
Great ball.
Very good. I do know that quite a few of these players won't be at Corrimal next year. A little bit of a migration happening already. At least 2. Always keeps things interesting when someone gets a job somewhere else or moves away or circumstances change. That's a good effort by Scott Baus, but he's just dropped that little bit outside.
That just changes the dynamics within regions and then at this level.
You can guarantee Charlestown's roster will alter a little bit for next year when they join the Platinum Pennant. They will have a recruitment in place. I dare say they'll pick up a couple of extra players in marquees alone.
Yeah.
But there might be 1 or 2 of the top echelon of Newcastle area players that decide they'd like a crack at the Platinum and they'll move to Charlestown.
Definitely.
And why not? It's a great comp. Ray Parks adds a little bit more pain there, drops one in. Don't think it's 4, I think it might be 3, but the Anthony Moran bowl on the centre line could well count already as well, so it could be 4 there. I do think Jarrod Bent's bowl at the front does beat the back one, but now it doesn't matter because, he's rolled it onto the jack. Still 3, I think.
Yeah, the jack moved that fraction back towards Anthony's bowl.
Johnny Green says, well, you know what, Parksy, come out on this right-hand side. Your right-hand side, your forehand. Draw one round there and match these 2. That's where our danger is. That's good tactics. Don't want to give too many opportunities here. David King. Well, he's on a good line again. Pretty close. Well, has he got it? Gets a little clap there.
Great bowl there.
Has he got the shot or not? Well, it could be the front one. It's 1 either way.
I think he might. No indication.
Oh, they're not giving us anything. $10-16 on the middle rink. Jarrod Beckford picked up another 1. And 7.25. Matt Swan trails Eric Janis after 17 ends. So 61-28, 33 shots the difference in only 13 ends remaining. We're getting towards needing 2.5 to 3 shots per end. And this is where that really does magnify. Every end you don't get it, you have to get more the next end to get close.
Yeah, it makes it very hard.
Oh, what did I say earlier? Mathematically possible.
Yes.
Well, I think the front one had to be shot there because Daniel Hill played a little bit of attacking. He's trying to get rid of it. You're probably obliged to anyway to try and make a number, but he's got his own. So Ray Parks says to John Green, we've got one now. Drop us another one in. Get that danger away that he can get rid of our bowl and make any number. Not too badly pointed from John, just in behind. Daniel, one down at least. Tough shot. He's got to try and make shots, but he's also got to try and not drop any. You're almost in a hiding to nothing at this point. He's looking for the Creek Laws bowl. He's got nothing out of it though. He's pumped it on. One's gone up. It's one to Illawarra's Corrimal team. And they're going to have a look at any more.
Yeah, they're going to measure out.
Just a slight roll of that jack. Pop that mat down straight away so we can't see that measure in the side one. Just the one indicated. That pushes the lead out on this rink. 21 shots to 11. 5 to play here. And I'm not expecting us to actually play all the ends.
17-10 now on 19 for the middle rink. So, yeah.
35 shots the difference, so they're more than double.
More than double, yeah. Very, very tricky assignment, but yeah, mathematical possible.
Well, we're resuming normal transition here for Anthony Moran. He's played a very good game up front for Corrimal. And just keep dropping him in there. Don't worry if you're shot or not. Just give us something close and not short. He's done that pretty well most of the day.
Yeah, he's kept producing.
Jarrod Bent hasn't had a bad game, but I think he's won the battle. And Jarrod Bent, well, that is a cracker.
Nice reply.
Anthony Moran, don't do anything too much different there. Just prop it up on that backhand side. Confident draw. Make sure you don't be short and you'll be fine. And, well, he's not going to get shot, but if you're skipping with a big lead and you got a good second and your lead pops that one behind like that, you're going to be going, well, you know what, that's pretty handy. We're going to have to attack this to get rid of it. You've got the cover at the back. And Jarrod Bent, yeah, that is another good position as well.
Definitely is.
Although I think Charlestown's now at the point they've got to risk Corrimal playing a conversion. They've got to group them together and try and get 4s and 5s because they need more than one an end.
Definitely.
They need 35 shots in 11 ends. So they need more than 3 an end. 4s and 5s, you've got to do that. And you want to go into that last end not needing too many.
And you can't drop an end in the process.
Just underneath. Not too bad a home from Scott Baus. Could end up in the count. You can almost guarantee they've just got to set it up so that Daniel Hill can play some sort of conversion and try and make a number. Whereas Johnny Green and his team, well, they've just got to say, you know what, we've got the lead. I'll give you 5 ones. Don't care. 5 ones is gold for us.
Yeah, 1 and end's not going to make a difference.
No. The Lions have smacked it next door. Jack has gone bouncing up and gone into the ditch.
Yep.
Just caught that out of the looking through the gap at the scoreboards. See if there's any change. Ray Parks, he's had a pretty solid game as well.
Yeah, he has.
Actually, I think all of the Corrimal players have played pretty well.
Oh.
Johnny Green hasn't had to do a hell of a lot. He's played a couple of good bowls.
Yeah, he
That
has.
is a great bowl from Ray Parks.
But no, the whole Corrimal team have played well.
David King, this is on track. Great bowl, kicks it out to the side. He's got shot now. Camera 2. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Escape. There we go. Bumped the book. Just froze my keyboard. That was a scary moment.
Oh,
Thought I'd stuffed it. Just move that back a bit so we get a bit more view. Actually, I'll try and tighten that a fraction. Well, Ray Parks, great line. Needed another, what do you reckon, metre and a half?
yeah, metre and a half. Still down.
David King converted with his last. I had watched Ray Parks and he's just got that up enough.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's pulled up in time to count. Still plenty of room here for Johnny Green, and he bringing out the finger measure, or the finger guesstimate.
A few people don't like the fingers.
I don't. For a couple of reasons. One is I'm hopeless at it.
Yeah.
There's pretty clear instruction if you're an ITO, don't do it.
Yeah, it's all guessing.
Well, you only have to move a millimetre your fingers and you put yourself out by quite a bit because it magnifies with the distance down.
Yeah.
Look, anything you can do that gives you a good guide is probably okay. I find that if I stand at the base of a triangle, try and make a right angle up to the jack, whichever bowl I'm closer to at the base of the triangle is going to be shot.
Yeah.
Not easy to do with ones that are pretty close. I find I'm fairly good at it. And Daniel Hill needed to get past that. I don't think it's made any difference to the count at all.
No. Still plenty of room in there.
Johnny Green. I just wonder how much the state of the game affects the ability to concentrate on playing this shot.
Oh, he's... Yeah, gone wide.
Might be good enough. Having a bit of a look. Hilly's drawing.
Is it past? No, it's not past the front ones.
Well, it's a bit disappointing that he's not made it there. You've got the long measure coming out. They've confirmed one to Charlestown.
So it's just the one.
In the end, I reckon John Green's going, well, one. I'm not upset.
Yeah.
Probably disappointed he didn't draw the shot, but...
One down at the moment in the context of the match.
Not tragic.
Yeah.
Well, 64-31, 8 to play. I think if someone said to Corrimal, just give them 8 ones, you'd be happy with that. They'd be ecstatic with that. That'll do.
Yeah, that would do.
In fact, if they said, give them 8 fours, probably say, well, you know what, that's cutting it close, but that'll do.
Yes.
Little toucher from Anthony Moran runs through. As soon as it does get to the point where it's impossible for Charlestown to win, we do have the clause in the laws that game is over. And that's not a bad correction from Jarrod Bent, only 30 centimetres or so short. But, even the player's body language is now saying, well, we accept that we're going through the motions for the last couple of ends until we can enjoy some camaraderie, enjoy the social aspect.
It's difficult in this position where you know you're
gone, and we know you've got it. In fact, it can be a bit anticlimactic to be so far in front and then finish.
Yeah, it can be.
Any faint glimmer of hope would be fading.
Great ball there.
11-17, 12-20. I think I put on the wrong side. It's 12-21 on 17, not 11-22.
Oh, yep.
So I can press the minus on John. And I will have to go to title editor. Team A score 32. Player 1 score 12. Fixed. 63-32. Oddly enough, that's what our manager's got. 55 ends gone. 8 to play, 29 the difference.
Middle rink has finished up.
And did they put the final score on the board for us?
One finger's going up. So they didn't put the score on the board.
One to Corrimal.
Corrimal.
The managers put one on the board. We'll have to believe them. David King has got the jack, and it's gone straight to Greg Laws. Sign of the day.
Yep.
I dare say that this could even be the last end.
Yeah, it could be.
It's getting to the foregone conclusion stage. 32 shots the difference. 7 ends to go. We need 4 an end plus a few more. The run rate theory is blown out of the water here at the moment.
Oh, definitely.
Ray Parks, well, backhand draw, just get one into that area. Even try and draw a toucher there. Tuck it around the corner, make more. For Corrimal, it's don't muck around too much. You just don't give them an opportunity. Get down to the Corrimal bowl. He's got that. Stayed for 2.
Mate, 2. Nice bowl there.
David King, he'll follow that down the backhand. He's looking for contact on Ray Parks' bowl, try and get rid of both. He's not got that. He's got his own.
26-9 on 19, their third rink.
Further 1 to Eric Johannes. At 65-32, 33 the difference, 6 to play. You need 5.5 an end now. 3 5s, 3 6s.
And a miracle would have happened.
Well, the other thing is, if you're Corrimal and you lose from there, you'd be looking for a yawning chasm to open up in the earth just to hide you away.
Yeah, it would not be a good feeling.
It's not going to happen. And I think the players are at the point where they know
Yeah.
that they're just marking time until they can, in all conscience, call the game off.
Yeah.
Probably get it to the point where it's impossible. And it's nearly there now.
It is. It's not too far away.
It is mathematically possible.
Yes.
Code for no chance. Daniel's having a smack at it, and he's just wide again.
Getting close next door to us. Grandview's 50-48 over Wingdang.
Well, there are a couple of those Windang players that are very experienced, very cool heads. Nice bowl from Johnny Green. Didn't fatten the target. Just got another one in that head. Daniel's got no choice. He's got to have a crack at this. And I think that one's even wider. No, it's not even wider. It's the same path.
Yeah.
Johnny Green, just stay away from it. You got 2. Oh, he's going to try. Oh, yeah, well, I suppose if he rolls it through, it's almost start banging the nails in the lid.
Yeah. Opportunity to try something, I guess.
Is he going to have a red hot crack at it, though?
He is.
Not going to do it.
Oh.
2 to Corrimal.
2. So that's
25 the difference with 35 the difference with 5 to play. Well, mathematically possible.
So we go another end. St John's Park's tightened up the gap up on the far on green 1, 40-45. They trail Port City. So Port City still holding on.
Yeah, that's very well and truly mathematically possible.
Definitely.
And that's not code for no chance.
Correct. They've got plenty of ends left up there too.
Anthony Moran on his way down. Playing the second last end on Eric Johannes' rink. And we've got 58 ends gone and it's 35 the difference. So unless the next score for Charlestown is 3 or more, and then it is officially over.
Yep.
Charlestown need more than 3 on this end and then 8 an end. Reminder that you can catch all of the action tomorrow from 8:45 a.m. semi-final time. We'll be streaming from Ettalong in the Grade 1 Open Pennant State Finals. Good bowl from Jarrod Bent. Laws on his way down. He's going to set Jarrod Bent's bowl, much to the delight of Johnny Green. I always have a giggle at someone ducking down to go underneath the camera when it's at the mat end because it's not being used.
Yes.
Now, cameras also have a lovely little feature. The one that's in the preview screen, the next to go live, is got a green light above it. The one that is live has a red light above it. If it's red, don't walk in front of it. Greg Laws holding shot, looking to add another. Not too badly down. Really, you're just trying to protect here. You know, Scott Baus, he's got a touch on it and run past. May have got shot.
They're shaking hands on the third rink.
Well, they've called it.
Yeah.
I don't know what the score was there. They haven't put it up. They haven't indicated. Big board goes 67-34, so it was 2. So that is now 4 ends to go and 33 shots the difference. It is officially gone. We probably will just play the last bowls out on this end, although they're quite within their rights to shake hands. In fact, they're probably obliged to. However, I am not going to run out and tell them that I have to stop.
Yeah, Corrimal have been quite dominant, haven't they?
Yep. 4 ends to go and it's 33 the difference. There's only 32 shots available, so Eric Johannes' rink finishes up 25-11 after 20 ends. Jarrod Beckford had a 18-11 victory over Nathan Dawson. They completed their full complement. It's 23-12 after 18. John Green over Daniel Hill. We will finish this end, regardless of what happens, whether they decide they're not going to play. I won't be streaming it because it's officially over. We will go through the bracket for the matches tomorrow before we sign off. Just a reminder, you can get the results from every grade as they filter in. You can see that they're getting close to completed at a lot of venues on the progress scores. Grade 7, 50 to 60 ends on, so they're getting close to the end. Those will be added to Bowls link. You can find the link to the results in our YouTube bio. You can also find the entry to our 4 state events, the rookies, singles and pairs, mixed pairs over 40s. Those links in the bio as well. John Green rolls his bowl down. I must admit I haven't really paid attention to who's holding shot for the last couple of bowls because it's irrelevant. It is the blue and white Scott Baus bowl on the centre line. The Jackie's up against it. I think from our live view.
Yeah. Bit tricky to tell because they're up the other end.
And again, if I get our side camera pointed up, it's actually Greg Law's holding shot. I want camera 4 in the small.
John Greenfell coming down nicely.
Cam 2. Daniel Hill having a little charge. Run past. And they will shake hands now. And it is Scott Baus given the one, taken out. No, don't measure it, guys. Just declare.
Have they got the fingers out? 2.
2 or 3, doesn't really matter. 2, that's it. That's the game. They're going to try and put the mat down, but we're not streaming. They're going to carry it down the other end, surely.
No, they're going to try play short.
So there's our bracket for the Grade 1 Open Pennant State Finals. Our quarterfinals, well, we now know that it's Corrimal through. They'll play the winner of Beresfield and Merimbula. The Grandview's Windang winner will take on St John's Park and Port City. That's tomorrow morning from 8:45am. Be sure to join us then. It's been a pleasure to bring you this match. Thanks for joining us, Brandon.
Thanks, Andrew.
I'll just get my right list up and we'll cut to the termination of this stream. Be sure to join us at Edalong tomorrow morning from 8:45, and for that, until then,